walk up them like a normal hill. You actually walk on them kind of like individual platforms, as you can see there. I'm walking, but I'm not going anywhere. It's some of the worst designed platforming I've probably ever seen in the NES. I mean, if you're gonna have a hill in a game, make sure that you actually can go up and down the slopes. This whole stage is so bad, and thankfully you don't have to kill a lot of the enemies. You can avoid a lot of them. And we're really just trying to get to the end as quick as possible, so I'm just going to keep running, jumping up the hills as much as that makes sense, and thankfully, not too long later, we're at the boss, and this boss works very similar to the one that we just previously faced. We're going to have to use the punches to knock him away, and watch out for his gun projectile. Thankfully, he can't shoot down at you, so he's just kind of stuck in that same motion, and if he does hit you, like I said before on some of the other bosses, take a couple of steps back, and then try to get him stuck again in the loop. Hopefully it'll work for you. Now with that terrible stage done, we're back inside of another building, where we're going from left to right or right to left, over and over again, traveling up the building. In terms of gameplay design, I don't know which one's worse. The hills that make absolutely no sense, or just the same monotony of going back and forth on the same building instead of just traveling up like a staircase or an elevator of some sort. I mean, some of the stages had stairs, and in this case, we have an elevator, but it can only take you up one floor at a time. I mean, I can see the next floor above me. It has another opening just like this one does with the elevator. What's preventing me from going up one more floor? I mean, other than obviously lengthening the gameplay so that they actually have some. I mean, what I guess you could call gameplay, but it just is very poor design. Like, have some reason why I can't go up there. Maybe the elevator break, and then all of a sudden when I come back to the left, there's the elevator again. The same elevator that I already took up one floor. Our enemies are the same guys. They may look a little bit different each level. They may change their color palette a little bit, but they're still as obnoxious. Platforms are hard to hit enemies below you, and there's hard to hit enemies right above you on a different platform. You can duck at the end of different platforms, such as these desks here, in order to duck down and deliver some punches to take out some of the enemies so that you can knock them away so that you can get down. Now this guy, we're going to use our same strategy as we've used on some of the other bosses. Duck down to punch him or try to get him stuck with the kicking motion, but he can fire at you, so it may be just safest to duck down in front of him. Now next up is a boss battle against a giant helicopter. You don't actually fight the helicopter pilot or anything to do with it. As you can see, you can't even tell that there's anyone inside of the cockpit of the helicopter. You just go through a gauntlet of the same guys being dropped from the helicopter for the entire stage. I mean, very thrilling. You can see the very terrible animation of the helicopter blade, and the helicopter doesn't really quite move the way it should, and all it is move back and forth in the same two spots, dropping the same guy over and over again. We punch him real quick, knock him off the screen, and then just wait for the next guy to drop. I mean, I guess we can say the best thing about it is at least they changed up the gameplay a little bit. This whole stage takes way too long to get through. I mean, I'm almost near the end, thankfully. It would have been nice to maybe if the helicopter had a health meter like the other bosses, with each part of the health equaling one of the guys that got dropped out of the helicopter. Or at least keep a counter of something so we know how many guys that we're going to have to still face. After a while, you can see the helicopter is smoking, and then we will finally be done with this stage. It's just going to kind of end after the helicopter explodes. I don't know why it exploded, but that ends the stage, thankfully. As you can see, we're back on a street-style level, thankfully no hills to go up and down, and this is kind of the climax of the film that we're doing, so we're actually at the last couple of levels of the game. Only a few enemies to go through, and when you make it all the way over, we have our boss battle here. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't get really knocked back by our moves, so just duck down and mash the attack button, and you should be able to hit him a lot of times real fast, because since he doesn't get knocked back, you can deliver a lot of quicker hits on him and deplete his health even faster than some of the other bosses. Now, as you can see, we're actually in the movie theater. Just have to go all the way to the right, and guess what's going to happen when we make it all the way to the right? We're going to head up, and now have to travel to the left. Thankfully, there's only 2 floors here. This is the final one. Thankfully, because there's really no ceiling here, you actually can use the jump to your full advantage and jump over almost all the enemies and not actually have to fight them. When you make it to the left, we actually go to the roof, and it's time for the final boss. Okay, so head to the left all the way and you'll get into the boss battle. It's pretty much a duplicate of the very first boss battle of the game. The guy's going to throw axes at you, use your kick to knock him away from you, and do a few jumps here and there to try to avoid some of the projectiles, but it's going to be almost impossible to avoid all of them. Once you've drained his health, we have our last couple of scenes and the game is over. I guess one of the good things also you can say about the game is there's very little credits. There's only one screen of credits to show, and then the game just goes back to the startup screen. Just like most of the other Sony Imagesoft licensed movie games that came out for the NES, very terrible ending there to go along with a pretty much terrible game. And with that, that's going to wrap up another edition of Play It Through. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.